Hello and welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. So this is a review for Baby Bottleneck, released in 1946. It's the 468th in the series, and it's directed by Bob Clampett. And joining me for this review are my good friends Blugenesi and Manny Cruz. Say hi.
Hi everybody.
Greetings and salutations, all you happy people.
Also, you can find this short on the Looney Tunes Gone Collection Volume 2 DVD set and the Platinum Collection Volume 1 Blu-ray set.
He doesn't want me to tell you this, guys, but that was Anthony just a weekend ago.
Sure, why not? Now, due to copyright, I can't show you the full cartoon here, so I'll just give you a brief synopsis in case you haven't seen this one. So essentially, the stork, which of course delivers babies, is drunk, and inexperienced help have been delivering the wrong babies to the wrong parents, so Porky steps in along with Daffy to try and fix the problems, and as you can expect, all sorts of weird and wonderful things happen.
It'll speed up deliveries 1,000,000,000%. It's a Loo. Watch. Well, back to the drawing board.
For the review for this short, I've taken the audio commentary that I had to take down due to a request by Warner Brothers Legal, and I've remixed it, and I've also added some thoughts from Manny Cruz, so for those of you who have heard it before, you're going to get something new as well, plus a rating, so enjoy. Storks Club was actually a club in Manhattan that's no longer around, apparently. It's also the name of a 1945 film, but I don't think that's really a reference to that, given that this cartoon would have been in production before that film was released in 1945. Here's a cut scene anyway, because it's like a very abrupt cut, which, according to Bob Clampett himself, he mentions this during Michael Barrier's track. Apparently, the pig was going to say, don't touch that dial, which I think the censors didn't like that. The references here, let's see. You got the Eddie Cantor reference, which, Eddie Cantor had a lot of girls, and he really wanted a boy. And that was even done in a Bob Clampett cartoon called Slap Happy Pappy, which literally dealt with that very issue. The Dion reference, Mr. Dion, please, comes from the fact that the famous Dion quintuplets is like, really? Do you need any more kids? We hear Sarah Berner here doing a voice where she's calling in like a radio show, the whole Mr. Anthony, I need help. It was like a radio show call-in, asking for help, similar to like a Dr. Phil kind of thing. And
Right.
We have a typical Clampett crotch gag thing. And of course we hear the powerhouse, and I tell you, as soon as the Warner Brothers had the license to use that music, it really went to town, and they used it really so well in this conveyor belt sequence. It's such an amazing
Absolutely.
song. It's so perfect for it as well.
I'm not going to lie, I feel like this cartoon was made because Clampett saw the first 15 minutes of Dumbo, thought the idea was really stupid to have the storks, and just wanted to mess around and just really tell Disney off.
And look at this newspaper clipping, by the way. If you take a close look in this HD restoration, looks like they just got random newspaper clippings from that day's newspaper and just pasted it all in, and it's just random articles.
I love this gag because nobody ever really talks about this one because, the rest of the cartoon is so great. But we have this dog character. He's so excited about his invention of this rocket on his back to make baby deliveries faster. And then, it explodes on his face, and he's just so happy. He's like, oh, well, gone back to the drawing board. It's such a blinking you miss it moment. And there's Tweety, by the way.
But what I've always loved robotics in these cartoons where they have to do a literal human thing, like to burp these babies or whatever other function they're going to do. It's just such a bizarre.
And also, I gotta say, why is his hat so big here?
Oh, it just looks so funny, I would say. And why is there also no background? I like the fact that we can focus on this wonderful animation here, and there's no background, and yet it still works.
You notice that Daffy's hat changes size all throughout the short. Like, I'm not expecting continuity or things to make sense in a Clampett cartoon, but it's just kind of funny that, it changes so much and it's so sporadic, and I love the animation in this scene.
And look at the three-dimensional aspect of his foot just kicking towards the foreground there. It just showed how great they were. And it's such a shame that Clampett just had to leave, and
he was at the top of his game. Yeah,
and you have to wonder what he would have done in the 50s. Here's a great little gag that I I always enjoy this sort of mutated pig-footed duck thing. It's so great. And I've got to point out one final reference on, and there's a payoff to the rocket gag too, which is great.
Right.
I like that it wasn't just a random joke before; it actually meant something. About the end, it was actually a payoff, and that was something that Clampett originally, when he was doing his Porky shorts, I found that he would do these jokes, but with no real payoff. Whereas here, there was definitely a payoff. I think it's one of Clampett's best, and it's one of his last shorts too. I mean, we're going to be nearing the end of his wonderful career at Warner's, so that's definitely a shame.
It's gonna be. I'm gonna miss him a lot. Gonna be honest. I have to say though, you could tell that whoever, like the team behind the Looney Tunes cartoons, the new ones, this must have been their favorite Daffy and Porky short, and it's a great one. I'm not trying to say it's not, but like. This is like the premise of like all of those shorts with Daffy and Porky in them.
Hello, everyone. This is Manny Cruz, the Toonie Tenor, coming at you. Just a few things to say about Baby Bottleneck. What a masterpiece. It is really a shame that Bob Clampett didn't have the opportunity to do much after this one. Definitely one of the best Warner Brothers shorts ever made. One of my personal favorite Porky and Daffy cartoons. As I've said before, they're my favorite duo. When people think of the song Powerhouse by Raymond Scott, this is the first cartoon I think of because it's used multiple times in the short during the baby conveyor belt scene, and then later on when Porky's chasing after Daffy. So many great gags, so much great animation. Certain lines that always pop up in my head when Daffy is saying, "Sitting on eggs is out, O-W-T, out." And I'll spell out purposely wrong to quote this cartoon. And of course, Porky saying, "Halibubi would," always makes me laugh. I can go on and on about how much I love this short, but I'm going to keep this brief. Everyone have a wonderful day and enjoy the commentary. Or the review? Commentary? One of the two. Pick one. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Manny. I just thought I'd also give you my rating since I wasn't doing it when I was doing the commentaries. But this one is easily a 10 out of 10 short. It is a masterpiece by Bob Clampett. Everything works. The animation's incredible. And if you can, definitely freeze frame through this because you'll see some really weird stuff. Blugenesi also agrees. He feels this one deserves a 2, so he also gives it 10 out of 10.
Oh, no. No. Sitting on eggs is out. O-W-T, out.
What are your final thoughts on this one, Blue, in this marvelous cartoon?
Masterpiece. It's just sad that 7 minutes is just not enough time to talk about it.
My final thoughts are, this is one of the Clampett's greatest cartoons of all time, and it's also one of the best Warner Brothers cartoons of all time, period. Like, end of discussion. It's amazing. But with that, we'll leave it at that. So thanks very much for listening, guys, and until next time, take care.